the 6-week school holiday, Mother eventually allowed me out on licence to play with the older boys at the end of the road. The deal being that I had to be back home before the first street light came on. That was easy. I had an intense fascination with street lights. Back then, most of the streetlights on little back streets like ours had little clocks in the base, and a man from the council had the job of going round every single streetlight in town, altering the clocks as the nights drew in or out and the required switch-on time altered with the change in seasons. One very nice man from the council was one day in the process of adjusting the streetlight clocks down our road, and I'd stood next to him at the lamp base, and I watched him work. I asked him what he was doing, and he very kindly shown me how to change the switch clocks. I soon found a way of discreetly breaking into the base of the pillar where the clocks were, with a garden rake and a hammer, to change the times of the streetlight illumination on our street to give myself an extended playtime in the evening. This all made me quite popular with the older boys, and I was soon invited to play down on the bumper with them. To this day, I've no idea why it was called the bumper. But the bumper was a patch of wasteland next to the railway line that had the gutted shell of an Austin Cambridge sat facing the passing trains. It was known as the ghost car. Me and my friend Bernard would sit in the ghost car pretending to drive. Suddenly, the semaphore signal at the end of the station would clatter as it changed, meaning that a train was approaching.
Show me type 3.
Bernard said disappointedly.
Type 3? So, not a number 18?
I asked, vaguely trying to sound as if I knew what I was talking about.
Number 18? What's your number 18?
One of those things that makes that noise, you know.
In our conversation, we hadn't noticed a northbound train approaching at speed.
That's very realistic.
One of the smoke-bellowing musical monsters roared past with its train.
Yeah, one of them. 9021!
What? I thought that was number 18.
That was number 21, you doofus.
What's the difference between a number 21 and a number 18 then? They both look the same to me.
Oh, I can't believe this. For a kid that can make the streetlights come on later than they're supposed to. You're a dipstick.
I just don't. They both look the same to me.
Look, they're called Deltics. And there are 22 of them, each with 22 different numbers. You do understand the concept of numbers?
Yes!
Well, these Deltics, they each have a number between 9,000 and 9,021. We call 9,018 number 18. 9,021, that's number 21, and so on. Do you get it?
Doesn't sound overly complicated.
It's not.
What would you call 9,000 then?
Well, number 22, of course.
What's that?
Well, it just is. You do ask some stupid questions, you do.
As the day wore on, not only did I see another 7 Deltics pass by, but I also learned about brush 2s, brush 4s, type 3s, peaks, and Bog Carts. On the road that led down to the bumper, there was a mysterious little ramshackle black garage made of corrugated iron that backed onto an adjacent chicken coop. One day, as me and Bernard walked down the bumper to play railway crossings on the ghost car, I noticed that the black wooden doors of the garage were slightly open, and I spotted a little sign above the garage which said, "Bag End."
Hey, Bernard, look. Bag End's open.
Oh, that's Les Hunter's place, that is.
How did you get it?
Oh, it's number 16. Golden Islander. Good one, that is. Good.
I couldn't help but walk up to the door and take a peek inside. There was a couple of huge, dusty blackened light bulbs hanging from old rope-effect wires dangling from the low roof, giving off a dim, warm glow. Stacked around the walls of the garage were countless old dusty televisions and radios. It was like a little valve-powered Aladdin's cave. Sat on a little stool in the middle of it all was what looked like a wizard behind an old bush black and white TV set that had the back cover removed. The wizard seemed to be making some adjustments inside the television, where I could just see the orange glow of multiple dusty glass valves.
Started as a dream. At least I think it was a dream. I could see how the universe really works, how it all fits together like a gigantic clockwork mind. Never end. The dark electric ley line. That you're waiting to tune into and make you whole. If you feel it, it will set fire to your artistic mind. As the clear water flows underground from the source of your soul, it's a sign that you're not connected to the dark electric ley electric dark wind. An electric dark wind, guided by the souls of dead Spanish poets who walk the deserted coast road. At the end of the night, there's a magnetic moon sets over the silhouette of a sea grave high on a hill. The spirits go back to rest in the still of unseen psychic lines that can only be tuned into and felt by spiritual mind.
Never in my life had I seen anything quite so mysterious. Never in my life had I seen anything quite so mysterious, yet fascinating. My eyes darted around the many old Bakelite radios that peered out from the shadows. Suddenly the wizard looked up at me and Edgar and said,
I think the picture hole's gone.
and we ran for our lives! Although, I'm not exactly sure why.